Well, hello there. Carol Dockum here with Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network. And I am super excited because we are right in the middle of our Fall into Success video series. And our special guest today that we are business spotlighting is Dignified Learning. And they are the newest members here on our success team. So please help me welcome Matt, Emily, and Callie. Dignified Learning transforms information into custom e-learning experiences designed to educate their clients' communities, employees, customers, volunteers, and students. What I love about Dignified Learning is that they are a software platform that provides a more efficient and dignified learning experience designed around the needs of the learner. So e-learning experiences are both accessible and application-based and designed to promote retention. And I think what I'm super excited about Dignified Learning is that after 2020, I think what we have all learned is that we can leverage technology, to create these e-learning experiences and deliver it to offices and home and university and schools and classrooms, right, for course creators and content creators. So I'm super, super excited to have Matt, Emily, and Callie here with Dignified Learning. So welcome.
Hi, Carol. Thanks for having us today. Great to be here.
Thank you so much, Matt. And Matt, so you are a founding partner here at Dignified Learning, and your emphasis is on the software and the technology and platform. And Emily, your emphasis is on the educational philosophy aspect, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. So we create custom e-learning experiences, and I'm a former educator myself, and we have a team of professional educators who all used a brain-based approach to how we structure information, so that we're not just putting content online, but we're making it as meaningful as possible for the learner on the other side of the screen.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And you're right. We all learn differently, right? And there is a process of, creating that content so that the audience, the viewers, the employees, the team can comprehend and learn, right? So Callie, you are the business development representative and focus on entrepreneurial experts. Tell us a little bit about the types of clients that you service at Dignified Learning.
Yeah, so at Dignified Learning, we love to work with both small and large businesses, nonprofits, people who have an eagerness to reach an audience with their own content. We love to work on trainings with non-traditional schools, a wide variety of different people. So.
Well, I have a quick question for you. I'm going to assume that really what Dignified Learning does and offers has really taken off since March of 2020. And that there's a huge need for what you have to offer.
I mean, I can say, yes, there's a huge need.
Yeah, I can too. Well, Matt, I have a question for you. So your parent company is Next Step Networking. Tell us a little bit about your parent company and then why they chose this technology support and invested in e-learning.
Yeah, I would love to. So Next Step is a Cincinnati IT managed service business. We've been around for 35 years, and we are the IT company for nonprofits. And really, through so much of our work in delivering tech, doing tech integration, doing tech training, there's been a slow demand for a different type of engagement there. And we didn't really figure out how to polish that until we added Emily to our team and really started to collaborate together on how can we best meet the needs of our clients, meet them where they're at, and deliver content and information that's really important to them. And most of the time, that information is kind of personal in a way. It is relevant, related to where they're at as a professional, where they're looking to go, and fill that skill gap. Sometimes that is an initiative that they're taking themselves. Sometimes, and we've all been through this, it's something where your boss, your supervisor, is making you go through training. And our goal as a business is to delight our customers, find a little bit of joy in the process, and make that a dignified learning experience, which has to respect the individual that's consuming that information, and has to be relevant to the work that they're doing.
I absolutely love that. And you're absolutely right. It is personal, right? And I'm sure based on your clients, everyone is unique, and the problem that they're solving, or the information that they want to get out to their teams, their employees, is unique and individualized per client, right? I absolutely love that. Thank you. Do you mind sharing a little bit more about your brand and the essence behind Dignified Learning?
Absolutely. So, I joined the Next Step team a few years ago, and Matt and I weren't quite sure exactly what we were going to create together, but it has evolved into e-learning. And I really joined the team from the perspective of a former leader of a large organization. And I was responsible for providing training and professional development. And every staff and every team that I supported throughout my career, I felt like there were individuals on our staff that had the answers, that were doing a beautiful job overcoming our challenges and pain points, and who represented our mission really well. I never had a way to capture and cross train and share that knowledge amongst my staff. And so that was kind of the one of the initial seeds of this idea, right? Is how can we empower organizations to have an option for custom training, right? How can you take an idea that you have for training and transform it into e-learning? And most individuals are experts and have years and years of acquired education and knowledge and experience, and they have so much to share with whether it be their employees, their internal team, or their larger community. But it is a skill set, as you know, Carol, to be able to structure that information. And then when you're talking about putting it online and figuring out the mechanics of software and how do you actually create content that's engaging and relevant to absorb as a learner. So, the idea is how can we take that process and just make it as easy as possible, and take that piece off of somebody's plate.
You know what, I just have to, fess up here. I've always had a course inside of me. And as you know, here at Beautiful Faces Going Places Women's Success Network, we work with, speakers, trainers, coaches, knowledge-based experts, as you mentioned, Emily, that have years of experience, right? They have the knowledge, they have the expertise and the how-to, but they don't know where to begin in creating a course. They may have the topic nailed, but how do you go about actually structuring that? Whether it's 5 or 10 different modules, and then sequencing it, and then selecting the software and the technology to deliver it, creating that engagement, and then making sure that whoever it is that you're teaching, whether they're students or employees and or attendees, because you're a course creator, making sure that they actually complete the entire course and that they have a great experience as well. So I think what you have to offer at Dignified Learning really fills that gap, that missing link. And I think what you have to offer will help inspire those course creators, knowledge-based experts, to sign up, go for it, and create that course and get it out into the world. So, and leverage technology, because it is at our fingertips, right?
Yeah, thanks, Carol. That's so important, that you and other subject matter experts can be experts in your field, and we can be experts in e-learning and own that entire profession for you, because you've touched on so many of the elements. It's a really complex and wide industry, and having a partner that can just navigate that for you and allow you to be the expert in your area of expertise, and us to take care of the rest.
I love that. You're absolutely right. I mean, we need to stay in our lane as the content creators, course creators, stay in our lane, focus on our zone of genius versus the back office how to. So I absolutely love what you do at Dignified Learning. Would you guys mind sharing a couple of examples of some of the clients that you have worked with, so that our viewers will have a better understanding, because you just never know who is looking for what you have to offer at Dignified Learning?
Sure, I'd be happy to start. A project that we love to talk about, and a client that we have that's really dear to us, is a global labor union. And the IUE-CWA has been a great e-learning partner for us. They are a very large organization, over 210 locations across the globe. And when you have an organization of that size, you're either spending a ton of time and a ton of air miles and driving around the country trying to deliver your message, or you're trying to figure it out in a more traditional route with email or something else. And when we got to partner with that client and really meet them and their learners at where they were at technically, the skill set, the expectation, the time they had to learn, we put all those things together and really have been proud of the partnership and work that we could deliver for them. And it continues to be a really successful initiative across a labor union that has over 100,000 members.
Wow. Wow. I mean, when you said labor union, I just imagined, international or national, thousands of, members. And I love that you mentioned email, because, a lot of people don't always read their emails, or there's a lag time in the email service, in terms of when that email inbox is going to be open and responded to. So what a great way to deliver, a training, to a wide organization, fast, efficiently, with software and technology. So what a great example. Congratulations on that one. Do you have any other examples of clients that you'd like to share with us? I mean, in my mind, I was thinking about, oh my goodness, think about, fraternities and sororities that have, national organizations around the world. And then I'm thinking about Chamber of Commerce's as well, since I'm a former chamber exec.
So Carol, the things that we look for to make sure our client is successful in an e-learning endeavor is that, number one, they've defined their audience or their learners. And that is something that we talk about a lot. When you hear the word learner, it doesn't mean you have to be a teacher in a school. A learner is anybody who's going to receive information and act on it. And so let's define that. And if you can do that, pretty concisely, who you're going to be sharing this information with, and what the learner is expecting out of the engagement, and you have that expertise to share, we're going to be able to capture that, create that experience, and deliver it to that audience of learners. And one great example of that is a local TEDx coach right here in Cincinnati. Travels the country, but based here, delivering public speaking best practice, helping TED Talks be delivered in a really fluid way. And that is a really niche industry and skill set. And the problem for that client was that their income is limited by their calendar. In other words, they can only make as much money as the meetings and consulting engagements that they can set. And so taking that, capturing that, and delivering that via e-learning and pairing it with coaching, adding in that personal component is really important. And so that was another really fun project we got to do here, but I would be glad to hear from Emily and Callie. We've got a lot to talk about.
Well, I was just going to say, as we're kind of talking through these projects, they're still kind of abstract, and I think potentially overwhelming to think about, well, how do I go about even figuring out what I need a course on or what that's going to look like? And, when we say you're the expert, we respect your knowledge. We're going to come in and meet you where you're at and work with you and get the content in any way that makes sense to you and how you structured it, right? So sometimes that means we'll get a binder that has the information in it, or a PowerPoint from a training that's been conducted. But it can be even less formal than that. Sometimes it's a conversation between a member of our team and the expert. And my favorite story to tell is it's actually IUE. One time I got a shoebox full of Post-it notes of ideas, and our team took that information, created a curriculum out of it, and transformed that into e-learning. So, just in terms of what that engagement looks like, we're going to come in and work with you. And so many times we've heard people say, I have a course in me, I have this idea, I just don't know how to structure it. And that's really the part that we enjoy doing. And, that's what we're best at.
Well, that is a huge service. Let me just say, I can totally relate to your clients. That's for sure. You have a course in you, you have a training you'd love to create and digitalize and get it on there or put it out there online. And I love what you mentioned, Matt, that is a great way to support your coaching business as well, or if you are a speaker, trainer, or a coach. So thank you so much. Do you either of you have any closing remarks or anything you want to share before we wrap up our business spotlight series here?
My closing remark would be, if you've tried e-learning and hated it, then call us. Because we feel that, we experience that. Callie can share that story for herself, but we hear that so often, and it's something that if through COVID you were forced into a platform, you were told to use something, or you just weren't really sure where to start, that's why we exist.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Callie.
Sorry, but I just want to say to Matt's remarks, I mean, I am now working for an e-learning company, Dignified Learning, and I would have never thought I'd be here because I had to finish my last semester of college online, and it was probably the worst semester that I ever had because I'm very hands-on, very tactile, but we're able to create those e-learning engagements that, make me feel respected and I actually enjoy what I'm doing. And it's just something that I fully support, even as somebody who has really disliked e-learning in the past. So.
Well, it sounds like you have the talent to make this a fun, engaging experience. So thank you so much, Matt, Emily, and Callie, for joining us here on our Business Spotlight series. We're here to help our viewers fall into success. If you have any questions or you have a course inside of you, reach out to Matt, Emily, and/or Callie at dignifiedlearning.com. And I just want to say thank you so much. And I just applaud you for bringing education to the masses. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.